So everyone, please say 3 times together. Join your palms and say 3 times together. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Very good evening to everyone. And before we start, I would like to do the same wish that I do at the beginning of every meditation session. What is that? I sincerely wish. May this meditation session also give you at least a little peace and little happiness of mind, right? So, but it doesn't come just because I wish. You have to work hard too. Please work hard for yourself, and then try to achieve at least a little bit of peace and happiness with it. And at the same time, you have to understand that you are keeping another small step so forward in your Dhamma path, right? It may be small. It may be a small step, but small steps joining together, right? It helps you to pass a long way, right? So, so small things are the things which make big things, right? So, for an example, the pot fills when many drops of water join together. Similarly, practice is the same, right? So when you practice with a very calm mind, with a very quiet mind, ardently, you are bound to be successful. And very importantly, understanding the technique well, right? So if you practice like that, then you are bound to be successful, right? So everyone, please work very hard today too. So before I start, I would like to share a good news with everyone. So the last year, I think all students might remember that I asked you the permission to stop the last 3 weeks. So because I had a certain exam, so I didn't conduct the classes, meditation classes on the last 3 weeks of last year. Can you remember? So I passed that exam. Actually 2 weeks ago, but I couldn't let you know. So the MA exam, I passed it with considerable good marks, with certain A's. So and I sincerely thank, and so all of you well wished and thanked you. I mean, well wished and encouraged me. The old students, I sincerely thank them. So that's the good news. And now we are going to start the meditation session. So all students, they were instructed last week to observe. So they are practicing the 4th step of Vipassana meditation. They were asked to observe, they were asked to start observing the middle part of your body. This is only for all students. So they were asked to observe the sensations on the middle part of your body. Earlier we began the Vipassana meditation with the first step. That means observing the sensations on the top of your head, right? Then we started observing the sensations on your face area. And then after that, we started observing the sensations on the during the third step. So we started observing the sensations on your neck up to the tips of your fingers. Right? Very nice. And after that, so 4th step is to observe the sensations on the middle part of your body, right? That means, right? So you have to observe your heart area. In that area, whatever the sensations that you encounter. Let it be pulsing sensation, so trembling sensation, itching sensation, or twinkling sensation, coldness, heat, or hardness, softness. Let it be any sensation. You have to welcome and observe those sensations as they actually are. And then you have to remind yourself that these sensations are impermanent, changing. Right? Then after that, so you have to observe the sensations on your stomach area. Right? So whatever the sensations that you encounter, you have to do the same, you have to follow the same instructions. And those sensations that you encounter currently at this very moment on your stomach area, you have to observe them realistically, and you should not follow your previous behavior pattern of your mind, favoring and defavoring. Instead, you have to observe them objectively. And then you have to tell yourself that these sensations are also impermanent, changing. Right? Then you were asked to observe the back. Right? The back area also, you have divided it into two parts. Upper back, lower back, up to the buttocks. And whatever the sensations that you encounter in that area, in those two areas too, you are asked to observe them objectively as they actually are, as you feel it at this present moment, and without any judgment, without favoring any sensation, or without so disliking any sensation. So after observing them realistically, as they actually are, you are asked to remind yourself that these sensations, they are also changing, impermanent. Right? And then when you are done, you can go once again to the top of your head and start again scanning your whole, so your body from top of your head to the buttocks of your buttocks of the middle part of your body. Very patiently, very calmly, with the perfect understanding of impermanence. You have to observe the whole body, part by part, pitch by pitch, slowly. Right? Sometimes you might experience if you are different meditators are in different stages. So if someone is more sensitive, then they might start feeling very uncomfortable sensations or very comfortable sensations. Let it be so. So let it be a subtler sensation or a gross sensation. All the sensations have the same characteristic. You should not forget that. They all arise and pass away. This is the continuous process on your body. So don't go with your old mental habit of favoring, judging this as good and that as bad. Keep your mind balanced at the middle and observe. Equanimously, please observe the sensations as they actually are. They're impermanent, changing. That is for all students. Please keep on practicing like that. So, first start from from your neck area, and then after that, observe this middle part. When you're done, please go to the top of your head and keep coming down. Okay. So then that's for the old students. New students, they will be asked to practice. New students who are joining today and the students who joined recently, they are very kindly and compassionately asked to practice breathing meditation. So you have, so you are going to, so you are just like the people who are going to take water from the well, right? But even though you have the bucket, if your rope is not long enough, then you can't take the water out. So right now, you are at the process of making your rope longer, right? So that means you are trying to make your mind more concentrated. So ardently understanding the purpose of your meditation. So please keep developing concentration using this breathing meditation. What you have to do is please pay your entire attention to your breath. When the breath is coming in, please be completely aware. When it is going out, please be completely aware. And if it is long, if it is short, if it is cross, if it is soft, let it be so. Don't go to change it. Don't go to favor any of them. Just keep on observing the present reality of your breath. If it is coming, so let it come, welcome. If it is going, so embrace it as it is and let it go, right? So Vipassana students too, they are asked to practice 5 minutes breathing meditation before you start Vipassana. So they won't be requested, so they won't be instructed again and again every day, but this is something that you have to do because you have to calm down your mind at the beginning, right? Therefore, 5 minutes of breathing meditation, and after that, so you are instructed to start practicing Vipassana meditation, right? Every day, I teach you something so that you have to apply into your life so that you will have a peaceful life. Not only that, you can divert that peacefulness of your life to your spiritual practice, and then you can develop in this pure non-sectarian meditation technique, right? So today I'm going to teach you another very important aspect, right? So sometimes we have seen people get into conflicts because the other people don't listen to you, right? When there is an important matter, if someone does not listen to you, at such times, I'm going to teach you to follow several steps, right? So that you can have a good, nice conversation and you can avoid conflicts. And at the same time, you can exchange your ideas and have a better understanding. And you can make the peace of that situation. And you can, so that you can maintain a good relationship with each other. It may be a community, it may be among two people, so somehow. So, when someone doesn't listen to you, these are things what you have to do, right? So, number one, uh, before you go to converse, you have to stay calm. Your calmness is very important. As a meditator now, you have developed some sort of calmness, you have to use it. Right? Before you go to talk to that particular person, stay calm. So don't go with the upset mood, right? Or troublesome mood. Or don't go with the confused mood. Always go with the calm mood, right? Then seeing your mood, that person also will react with calmness. So before you start the conversation, you make the other person ready to have a good conversation, right? So keep calm mood. That's number one, right? Then number two, clarify your message with simple words. Whatever you have to say, so you have to clarify it with the words that the other person can understand. Here you have to understand the nature of the other person. That you have to estimate whether this person is a very educated person or not a very educated person. And somehow better to use simple language, right? Simple language. Not so if it is a person who is educated about that particular subject, then you can use technical terms. If not, better to use simple words, right? So present your message very clearly with simple language. That's step number 2. Right? Number 3, so ask for their perspective. Just because the other person listened quietly, it doesn't mean that person understood everything. So you have to ask about that person's perspective too, right? And you have to be open-minded, and you have to welcome that person's perspective. If you see something that you cannot agree in that person's perspective, again, you have to calmly and quietly and with loving kindness, you have to talk, right? Mystery, can you open the doors? Yeah. Then that's number 3. So please write these things down if you want. Then number 4, choose the right time and the right place. Yeah. Right. So yes. So yeah. Choose the right time and the right place. You have to check the other person's mood too. If that person is in an angry mood, if this is something which makes the other person angry, then you have to wait until that person calms down, right? After that person is calm, right? He or she is calm, then you have to talk. And it should be the right place too. Sometimes, say, if that person becomes embarrassed, so uh, because of the in the if the environment is full with the people, the friends of that person, and by your clarification, if that person gets embarrassed, then you should not talk about that, right? You have to keep calm. You have to wait until the right place and right time, right? That's number 4. Number 5, so express how you feel openly, right? And then number 6, if that person doesn't listen, you have to re-evaluate your approach, right? Then at such times, out of loving kindness, you have to use another method, right? Another method, and you have to try. Right? Maybe your approach was wrong, so you re-evaluate and you try another way, another approach, right? So you try another method to explain. So then that's number 6. Number 7, respect their boundaries. So each and every person has their own boundaries. You should not interfere with everything. So you should talk up to the point, and beyond that, so you don't need to go and meddle with their personal affairs. So talk what is essential and stop there, right? So respect the boundaries. And so we have to understand communication is a two-way street, right? So both parties should connect with each other, so to pass the message, right? So to pass the message among both people, right? To have good communication. So you have to make sure that, and then when there is situation that you have to convey a message to another person, these are 7 steps that you have to use. Number 1, keep calm mood. Then number 2, clarify your message in a simple language. Number 3, ask for their own perspective. Number 5, express how you feel, right? Number 6, reevaluate your approach. And number 7, respect their boundaries, right? So if you follow these ways, then you will be able to make peace at such kind of tense moments. and so that you won't create new enemies for your life, and then you will be able to maintain that relationship. You will be able to maintain a healthy relationship with the others, and so you will be able to divert that very peacefulness of your life to your meditation, right? So please practice these 7 ways, follow these 7 ways when you have to converse with someone who don't listen easily. Okay, right? Hope you have such kind of nice conversations, right? With that advice, I would like to start. Now, everyone, please keep your back straight, neck straight, head straight. Please keep your right palm on your left palm. Now, please let your whole body to relax. Let your whole body to relax from top to bottom, bottom to top. Now, I'm going to pay a sincere respect and gratitude towards the Buddha. And after that, we are going to start the silent meditation. Everyone, please calmly close your eyes and concentrate. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Itimiso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho viññācarane sampanno sugato lokamido anuttaro purisa dhammesarati sattā deva manussanam buddho bhagavati. Swakato bhagavata dhammo sannitthiko akaliko ehi passiko opanaiko paccatang veditammo viññohiti. Supanipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho Ujupanimanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho Nyāya patipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho Sāmīci manipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho Yadidang cattari purisa yugani Atte purisa puggala Ese bhagavato sāvaka sangho Ahuneyo pahuneyo Dakkineyo anjali karaniyo Anuttarang puñaketang lokasati. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. With a very calm mind, with a very quiet mind, with an alert, very attentive mind, with a balanced, very equanimous mind, very patient mind. Everyone, please start your meditation. If you are a new student or a student who joined recently, please practice breathing meditation as we kindly instructed. If you are an old student, please keep practicing the fourth step of Vipassana meditation. Whatever the meditation technique that you are practicing right now, may your meditation be very, very successful. very, very successful. Everyone, please start your meditation right now. Now, if your legs are hurting, you can change your posture, but please keep your eyes closed. If your legs are hurting, if you are a new student only, you can relax your legs. But stay eyes closed. Keep the eyes closed. Now we are going to practice loving kindness meditation in brief. We are going to sincerely share our loving kindness with all the beings in the world. We start it with yourself, and gradually we are going to share our loving kindness with all the beings. All the beings. First, let's spread our loving kindness towards yourself. Please think. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May I be very peaceful. Please spread your sincere loving kindness towards yourself first. Now, let's spread our loving kindness towards your dear parents, teachers, relatives, and friends. May my dear mother, may my dear father, may my dear teachers, relatives, and friends be well, be happy, be peaceful. May they be very peaceful. Please spread your sincere loving kindness towards your parents, teachers, relatives, and friends. Now, let's spread our sincere loving kindness towards the people in the middle. So that means the people who are not your friends, at the same time, the people who are not your enemies, who don't belong to both these categories. May all the neutral people also be well. May all the neutral people also be peaceful. May all the neutral people also be happy, be peaceful, be happy. Please spread your sincere loving kindness towards the neutral people. Neutral people. Now, let's spread our loving kindness towards our enemies. Sometimes you may not consider anyone as your enemy, but there are several people in this world who, who don't like your prosperity, who want to harm you, so who want to verbally abuse you, so who are envy of you, who are jealous of you, who don't like you. We think of all such people. If you have, before you spread your loving kindness towards them, please ask forgiveness for the mistakes, mentally ask forgiveness for the mistakes that you have done intentionally or unintentionally. At the same time, forgive for them. Forgive them for the mistakes that they did intentionally or unintentionally. And please spread your sincere loving kindness, pure loving kindness towards those people. May all my enemies be well. May all my enemies be happy. May all my enemies be peaceful. May they be very peaceful. Please spread your sincere loving kindness towards your enemies. Now, let's spread our sincere loving kindness towards all the beings in the world. Not only human beings, we think about all the animals, insects, reptiles, fish, birds, all visible and invisible beings. Thinking about all those beings, let's spread our sincere loving kindness towards all those beings. Let their appearance be beautiful, ugly. Let they have capabilities and incapabilities. Let them be strong or weak. So let them be useful or not useful for you, regardless of any discrimination. Please spread your sincere loving kindness towards all the beings in the world. All the beings in the world. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be very peaceful. Please spread your sincere loving kindness towards all the beings in the world. Bhavattu sabbe mangalam rakhantu sabbe devatam sabbe buddhanubhavi sabbe dhammanubhavi sabbe sanghanubhavi sada sutti bhavantu te. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now everyone, very calmly and peacefully, please open your eyes. Let your whole body to relax from top to bottom and bottom to top. Now everyone, please join your palms together and say 3 times, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Dear Dhamma friends, I sincerely hope you had a good meditation session. For the new meditators, there are several new meditators too. You have to understand it's not easy. So this is not like eating quick noodles. So when you want to eat quick noodles, you open the packet, you boil some hot, so you take some hot water. So at certain houses, hot water is already available because they have the thermo flask. And then you put inside the whatever you have in the packet. So you put that noodles inside. Within 3 minutes, noodles is ready. This is not like that. So you have trained your mind to go in the wrong direction for a long period of time. So there is no one else responsible. You are the very person who is responsible for the wandering nature of your mind. You have let your negativities to uh, become very powerful. You are the one who have given all kinds of nutritions for them to grow. And now you suffer. And you say, so when they are so much grown, you complain. I have stress, I have depression, I feel angry, I feel frustrated, I feel this, I feel that. Who is responsible? Someone who is invisible? Or so someone at your family? No. You are the very person who is responsible. And the person who has to come out of it is you, no one else. So you have to work hard. I always mention this quote from the Buddha. Tumhehi kichang atapang akha taro tathagata. Those days Indian language, Pali or Magadhi, Buddha says. So you are the one who has to work hard and try hard. So Tathagata Akhatar. So the Buddha and all the great teachers, they are only guides who guide you in the path. Right? So that's why I always, when the other meditators thank, when they become successful, I thank you. Because you are the one who strived hard, right? And I teach, so the Buddha and all the great teachers, and also as I can, we teach the technique as we can to the students. So, but everyone, it doesn't mean that all the students put their entire effort for the practice. So those students who have the Dhamma seed, who have the courage to start, who have the courage to continue, and who have the courage to continue until they reach the final goal, they keep on going. They keep on doing. They keep on working hard. And finally, they gain great results. So that's why I thank them. I do only, so as I always mention, I only do say 25% of the process. You have 75% to do all by yourself, right? But somehow you have to keep doing with a lot of courage. So everyone who came to the most peaceful levels, right, within the enlightenment. So the highest level of peace and highest level of happiness, they also began just like you. Little by little, gradually, they worked hard. They fought unceasingly and finally attained eradicating all the negativities, developing all the positivities to the utmost level. They attain real peace, real happiness, Nibbana. So please work hard for your own self, for your own well-being. Nobody else is going to do anything for you. That's what Buddha said. You have to be a candle for yourself. You have to be a light for yourself. Atta Deepa Viharata Atta Sarana Ananya Sarana. So you have to be a candle to yourself. You have to be a light to yourself. So no, nothing else can be a candle, a light for yourself. That's what Buddha said, right? So I'm glad the old students, they work very hard, and they work very hard. They practice consistently. So so I sincerely wish them more success, and the new students, they will be encouraged. They will be encouraged at the bottom of my heart for greater success, right? So please keep on doing. So you have already planted the seed on the floor, Dharma seed. You have to add water now. So and you have to let it have the sunlight, and then you have to add other nutrients, right? Then this seed will grow, and later on will give you great fruits of dharma, fruits of peace and fruits of happiness, right? So please let the plant grow and let it become a huge tree with great sweet fruits, right? So dear Dhamma friends, last time so I taught you about the third step of Eight Noble Path. We were discussing about the Eight Noble Path, and last week I already taught you about the third one. I hope you remember the first one. Mr. Tim? Very nice. Right understanding. Right understanding is the place where everything begins. Right? In any case, in any subject, at any field, so right understanding is the first thing. In this Dhamma practice too, the right understanding is the first thing. So right understanding about the three characteristics of life: impermanence, then suffering, and then no self. And at the same time, four noble truths. So first noble truth, that means the suffering, cause of suffering, and cessation of suffering, very nice, and the path to the cessation of suffering. Means someone has these understandings, then I taught you, they develop, because of that right understanding, they develop right concept. I taught you that you will develop, because of this right understanding, which comes with the experiential wisdom, you will develop three kinds of right concepts, right? So the first right concept is, yes, coming, you determine, I will try my best to come out of all the negativities that I have. Number two, Miss Rina. Oh, right. No, oh, I think you were not here. Right, Miss Nidu, right? First one. Yeah. Now, can you remember the second one? Nandi, can you remember? Coming out of all the negativities. And Mr. Ramos not there, Mr. Yes, very nice, Mr. Arvind. So we determine not to get angry. Not to get angry. So number three is Shanti, third concept, right concept that you develop inside. All right, okay. Then, Sushmita, were you here? Third right concept. Whatever it happens, I won't harm anyone. Right? These are three right concepts that you thoroughly develop inside. Because of these right concepts, then your life gets shaped. So it becomes harmless. It turns into harmless life, a peaceful life, a happy life. Right? So now, right understanding led to right, right concepts. Then right concept leads to right speech. I told you last week what is the wrong speech and what is the right speech, and then I taught you how to practice the right speech. Right? I already taught you truth should not be told all the time. there are 5 things to check whether this is the right time to tell the truth, right? So whether this is the right time or the wrong time, can you remember? So whether this is 100% true or not, whether this is beneficial or not, what is the tone that I have to use, and am I telling this truth with loving kindness or with anger? I told all those things last week. So this week, we are going to learn about the 4th step of 8 Noble Path, right? Because of this right concept, right understanding, it led to right concept, and because of those right concepts, so your speech is now shaped, and now at the same time, your action will be shaped too. Your action will change too into a harmless man. Right action. Number one, first right action that you will do is, so you will stop harming the other people, killing or harming the other people. Whatever it happens, you will have the strong determination not to harm or kill anyone. It doesn't mean that whenever you need to practice self-defense, you will stay just like a vegetable saying, "Oh, I'm a vegetable, come and cut me." No. So at such times, out of compassion towards the person who is doing it, and out of compassion towards the victim, so you will interfere and you will do the best. So best thing to stop such kind of wrong actions, right? But without any reason, right? You are not going to harm anyone, right? Whatever it happens, you are not going to harm anyone, or kill anyone. That is the first action that you will do. You have to understand, in this world, all beings fear difficult sensations, uncomfortable sensations. Nobody likes pain. Buddha says, Sabbe tasanti dandase, sabbe bhayanti machun, atta nang upamankatva, nehaneya naghate. All beings fear pain. All beings fear death. Right? Therefore, making oneself the example, you have to take example with you, because you don't like to see other people harming you or killing you, right? Do you like the other people to harm you or kill you? No, you don't, right? So you have to take yourself as the first example, and taking yourself as the example, nehane, don't harm anyone, neghate, don't kill anyone, right? So now we have to understand that, and the Vipassana meditator actually understands this deeply because of that person's experiential wisdom. If we haven't developed our mind up to that level, then we should try at the same time. So after learning these teachings, you should try to apply. So with wisdom, then, right? Then when someone is not doing such kind of things, so when someone determines not to harm or kill the others, then that person starts to develop certain positive qualities within. That person starts to develop, when that person avoids such kind of practices, then that person lets oneself to develop, number one, loving kindness inside. Number two, compassion inside. Number three, shame to do harmful actions. Shame to do harmful actions inside. And then pity. That person develops pity towards all the beings inside. Or when that person stops doing, stops harming or killing the other beings, then that person lets oneself to develop pity towards all the beings inside. Right? So this happens. When someone does so, when a person doesn't harm or kill the other people, then that person does 3 selfless things towards the whole universe. What are the 3 selfless things that person does towards the whole universe? First selfless thing is that person gives freedom to the whole world from danger. Because of that person, in the world, nobody suffers. So that person donates freedom to the world. Right? That person donates freedom. That is the first selfless act that person does indirectly towards the world by not harming or not killing anyone. Number 2, that person gives freedom to the world from animosity. You don't leave any person to develop animosity towards you. So because you don't harm anyone, you don't kill anyone. So when you don't harm or kill anyone, then the other person don't have any opportunity to develop animosity towards you. They don't have any opportunity to develop hatred, anger towards you. Right? This is the second selfless act that you indirectly do towards the whole world. Number 3, so you give freedom to the world from oppression to limitless number. So you give freedom from oppression to limitless number of breeds. Because of you, nobody gets oppressed. Nobody gets suppressed. So you give freedom for those people, those beings, to live freely in the world. So whenever you are around, they feel safe. They feel protected, right? They feel calm, right? They feel freedom. And then we have to understand how actually a killing happens, right? So Buddha taught us how a killing happens. So, number 1, so there are one, two, so four stages to get fulfilled, to complete. So to complete the action of killing. Number 1, there should be a being who has life, right? So let's say there is an animal or being, so who doesn't have life. You attack that animal, so which is already dead. You attack that animal thinking you will kill it, but it's already dead. So it doesn't create the create the action of killing, right? So then there should be an animal or a being who has already life, right? Number 2, you have to have anger, so hateful thoughts inside you towards that being. So you have to have hateful thoughts towards that being. Sometimes you do something, but you don't have hateful thoughts. But because of your action, some kind of a being dies. You walk on the streets. thousands of ants die because of your walking. Then, but they don't create bad karmas. Why is that? Because of your mind. Because of your mind. Since you don't have any intention to kill them, so no, the action of killing won't happen. Won't happen. Then number 3. So first one, there should be a being who has life. Number 2, there should be, so you have to have the hateful thought to kill it. And number 3, there should be a, there should be a tactic to do it. So with hands or with a weapon or something like that, with poison or something like that. So intentionally, so you have to have a tactic. That's number 3. You think of a tactic. And number 4, not only you think of the tactic, just by thinking about the tactic, so the action of killing won't happen. Then you follow the tactic, and because of your following of the tactic, that being dies, right? So even by following the tactic, so if that animal doesn't die, if that being doesn't die, then the killing, so you will get the negative energy for harming the other being, but not so it won't cause the negative karma. It won't lead to the negative karma of killing. But even after 10-20 years later, because of your action, if that animal or being dies, then at that time you get the negative energy, right? So when you get the negative energy, then right. So these are the steps. So these are the steps to be fulfilled. To be fulfilled when it comes to the action of killing. So if all these steps are completed, then then the action of killing happens at that particular place, and then you are going to gain a lot of bad karma. If you kill or harm the others, what kind of consequences that you have to face? So here are a few. So there is a long list, but we don't have enough time. So I will just describe you a few, right? According to Buddha. So in this very life, so you will have to face various kinds of mental and physical pain in this very life. And at the same time, so especially you won't have, in this very life, you won't have mental peace. So the remorse will overpower you, right? The remorse will overpower you. And then when you are, and there are so many other negative consequences that you have to face in this very life. Then you might say, oh, we have seen butchers. So they kill animals, but there we don't see any consequences. You only see the outer picture. All beings have done, all beings have their own past positive and negative karmas. So they also have certain positive and negative karmas. Until their positive karmas stay with them, so they stay well. But since they are doing a lot of bad actions using that positive karma, so those past positive karmas, they decay faster. And whenever the quantity of their past positive karma so goes low, then the time comes for the negative karmas to result. Until the time comes for the negative karmas to result, they stay well. But when the negative karmas come up, when they become powerful, those people suffer a lot. We only see the outer picture, but there is a big picture behind, right? So in the upcoming lives, so because of killing and harming the others, you will have these kinds of consequences. Number one, you live for a short period of time. Sometimes you die at the womb of your mom. Sometimes during the delivery. Sometimes after several days from the delivery. And sometimes after several years from the birth, during the childhood, during the young age, during the middle age, right? So if you have lived beyond that, you have to consider yourself lucky, and you have to consider yourself as a person who have never you have harmed the other person lesser in the previous lives, right? You are a good person. That's why you are living up to this age, right? So you have to be thankful for your own past good karmas, the good karmas that you accumulated by not harming or killing the other beings, right? Then, if not, they will be born with lesser organs, right? Sometimes hands won't be there, legs won't be there, or some other items, right? So then they will have to face troubles consistently. Consistently, they have to face troubles. And then mental stress. So these are a few difficulties that you have to face in this life and after this life if you practice harming the other beings or killing the other beings. If you are a person who likes happiness, you like to live comfortably in this life and next lives. So if you don't believe in the next life, at least in this very life, don't kill or harm anyone. Develop loving kindness, compassion, and pity towards all the beings, and live harmlessly, live peacefully with all. Because we have to share this whole world with everyone, right? This is not only your world. This belongs to everybody, right? Okay. Second right action that person determines, so insight to do is not stealing. That person determines whatever it happens, I won't steal. That's number two. Second right action. So so how this stealing happens? So the Buddha gives the description. Let's say there is an object which was not given up by anyone and which has an owner. Let it be a small object, let it be a big object, let it be inexpensive or expensive, right? Then there is this object which belongs to another person, and that's number one. Number two is you have to know that it belongs to another person, right? That's number two. Then number three, so the intention to steal it. You have to like it, and you should have the intention to steal it, right? Sometimes you might take someone else's thing without understand. So let's say there are two similar phones with similar covers and everything is similar. Something happened like that several years ago. So I kept my phone on the counter, and after a while the phone is missing. And then I went to my desktop and checked. And then I saw the signals of my phone in Sacramento. Then finally I found out. So the phone of that person and my phone, they look similar. And we have similar back covers. So that lady has taken my phone thinking that's her one, right? So did she steal? No, that's a mistake. So you have to have, to complete the action of stealing, that person has to have the thought of stealing, right? That's number three. And then number four, that person has to have a tactic to steal. Then using that tactic, if that person steals, then the stealing is completed. The action of stealing, it's complete now. And you are going to get, you have done the bad action, and those bad karmas are bound to come to you, right? So stealing is very complicated. So certain people, Buddha teaches about 25 kinds of stealings, but we don't have time to describe all those things. So I will just mention a few for you to know. So they look like, not stealings, but they are stealings too. For an example, there is a property that belongs to another person. So you file a false case and bribing lawyers and everyone else. So let's say you obtain that property, right? You obtain that property. So misusing the law. Then at that time you are stealing. You do the action of stealing. And then somebody gives you something to take and give it to another person. But on the way, you miss it. You miss it means you take it to your home and you don't give it to the person with your friend asked to give. That's stealing. And then sometimes your friends, they come to you and ask you to keep certain things for protection because they feel their home as a place which is not safe for that object to be kept, right? So they keep it at your home, but you don't give it in return. You keep it with yourself and you use it. So because of the promise that you gave, so it becomes a stealing, right? And then sometimes you force or threaten or deceive the others and take stuff. Small story from the Buddhist time. One hunter caught two deers. One was a baby deer, the other was a big deer, right? Yeah, adult deer. A cunning man went to this person and he took both these deers to the market to sell. A cunning person went to this hunter and asked how much these two deers cost. Then the hunter said, this baby deer is one. For the convenience, let's use the word dollar. This baby deer is $1, and then this adult deer is $2. Then what that person did was he gave $1 to the hunter, and he took the baby deer. He went to a certain distance with the baby deer, and then came back and said, no, I don't need this baby deer. So please take this baby deer, and I already gave you $1, and here's the baby deer, now $2. Please give me the adult deer. The hunter, he's not educated, and he was confused. And because he had to take a sudden decision, so he gave the adult deer. he cheated, that cunning person cheated, so that person with $1. That's stealing, right? So if you steal, then what will happen? In this very world, you will be disgraced, right? Yeah, timely and untimely, you have to face the other people's scoldings. And then sometimes if you get caught, you have to face the other people's beatings, right? Sometimes certain people has to die. I remember once, so in Los Angeles, I think. So there was a looting at the Korean town, and one person went to loot one. It was famous case, I think. So I was not here at that time. For sure, Mr. Tim might remember. So the person who owned, the owner of that shop, that Korean man, shot at the person who came to rob the shop, and it was a big case at that time. So you have to die sometimes, right? Because of your stealing. That happens in the, or if you are caught legally, you will be punished. So these are the things that you have to face in this very life. And after this life, when you are born in the other lives, you will have thin bodies, very thin, extraordinary thin bodies. And then you will be born poor, and you always stay untidy, right? And you always has to stay sick, right? Whatever you earn, you have to, there will be a sickness that you have to so that you have to spend for that sickness. Then so that person won't get new clothes easily, clothing easy, and that person again will have untimely, so inept. So even though that person doesn't deserve, that person has to face various kinds of disgraces from the society. And then wherever that person goes, that person hear the word no, we don't have, right? Wherever you go, whenever you ask for help or for some kind of a thing, you hear the word no, we don't have. You ask from 100 people, all the 100 people say no, we don't have, right? Then whatever they earn, so it won't stay with them, and then they die with pain, right? While they were living, while such person is alive, so that person will have a life of suffering and will die with suffering, with pain, right? So it happens in the next lives too, right? Then number 3, third good action, right action that you determine to do is, so not engaging in sexual misconduct. You determine, whatever it happens, I won't engage in sexual misconduct. It comes from the bottom, right? If not, you have to develop it as a right action. Then, that action gets completed like this. There is a man or a woman, so who is not so appropriate, so to engage in sexual conduct, right? Then, so you have to have the thought of engaging in sexual misconduct with that person, and then so that person has to have a tactic, and then that person has to practice that. So when a person complete these 4 things, then at that time this person completes the action of sexual misconduct, right? Then you will ask, who is the lady that should not be so 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 man or the woman who should not be so should not be engaged in sexual conduct, right? So let's suppose there is an underage person who is protected by mother, who is protected by father, who is protected by mother and father. Sometimes one parent, single parent, sometimes both the parents. And then if they don't have parents, by brothers or the relatives or by a community or by a tribe or by the law right? Then so such kind of person is not appropriate for any sexual conduct, right? So because that person is protected by the society, right? And if someone practice sexual misconduct with such kind of person, then so these are the consequences we have to face. Number one, we will have bad partners. Then number two, such kind of people will have bad families. The sons and daughters that they'll have will be very disobedient, right? And troublesome. Always will bring dangers to the family, right? And then the relatives also will be troublesome. Not only the partner and the so sons and daughters, even the relatives will be troublesome. Then after that, so they will have sexual deviancies, so right, and then abnormalities inside, and then whenever the other people see them, the people won't like those people. We don't know why, but whenever the others see them, they don't like those people. It happens, right? Automatically. And they will have a lot of enemies. They will have a lot of enemies. And then they will have various kinds of sicknesses, right? So these are the consequences that you have to face if you practice sexual misconduct. So you have to determine not to do these three wrong actions. Instead, by avoiding these three wrong actions, you have to practice the right action. Right action is very important because when you practice these right actions, it leads you to a mind where you don't feel remorse. Since you are not doing these wrong actions, nothing to be remorseful. If you have right speech and right action, nothing to be remorseful. When your mind is not remorseful, then you feel happy. When your mind is with happiness, then gradually it leads to the level of joy. We call it rapture. The level of rapture. Always your mind is filled with joy. Always smile, always happy, always energetic. You feel like that. This is called rapture. It stays with you. And rapture leads to the consolation, the calmness, right? We call it passaddhi, calmness. And so then it leads, so that calmness helps you to go deeper in concentration. Then you gain the ability to use that concentration to understand the things as they actually are. And when you understand things as they actually are, then you develop wisdom. When you develop wisdom, it will leads you to the eternal peace, eternal happiness, Nibbana. So please practice. right action. Now we are going to conclude. Everyone, please think together, all of us gathered here, and practice this noble, non-sectarian, pure meditation technique and accumulated a load of positive energy. By the power of all this positive energy, may all your troubles be away. May all the good things happen in your life. May you be able to practice this noble, non-sectarian, pure meditation techniques consistently, ardently, with diligence. And finally, practicing this noble Dhamma practice, may all of us attain real peace, real happiness, purification of mind, Nibbana. With those thoughts, please join your palms together and concentrate. Please concentrate. Abhivadana silise nichang vada pachaino Chattaro dhamma vadanti ayuvangno sukhang balang ayuradogya sampatti sagga sampatti me vate ato nibbana sampatti iminati samijjatu. May all of you be well. May all of you be happy. May all of you be very, very peaceful. Very, very peaceful. Everyone, please take rest and see you in the next week on next Friday. Take care of everyone. Sukhi. Right. Good night, Miss Liz. Good night, Neha Didi. Right, wait for a moment. Right, wait for a moment. Right, now I think all of you can... Mrs. Shireen, good night. Neha Didi, good night.
Good night, Bante. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Right. May you be happy. Tomorrow you are coming, right?
Tomorrow it's getting started.
Yes.
It's starting from 15th, right?
Yes. 4:15. 4:15.
Oh, yes. We'll be there. I'm so sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
Good night.
Yeah, I'll be there by 15th.
Yes. Right. Good night, Mrs. Shireen.